Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of On the Couch with Creatives. I say good morning because I'm here in the UK, but good afternoon or good evening if you're anywhere else in the world. I'm Melanie Perry.
I'm Julie Hyde-Mew.
And this is On the Couch with Creatives. Followers of the show will know that we're part of the Creatives Group, the private network for creative professionals everywhere. Together, we help you create at your best, connect you with like-minded individuals, and therefore help you to grow your creative business. If that sounds like a good idea to you and you'd like to join our growing number of creative professionals, please reach out to us after the show. We'd love to talk to you. But this is On the Couch with Creatives. So, Julie, who do we have on the couch this morning?
On the couch today, we have SALMA ZAMAN. She is the founder and artistic director of the professional dance studio called SALMA's Bollywood Academy, based in Yorkshire. And she has appeared in the British soapie Coronation Street on ITV and in various other productions on BBC One, BBC Two, Channel 4. And she's also been a guest on the Donny Osmond game show Identity. Salma is a legend in the Bollywood world and has choreographed for several Bollywood stars. Besides being a dance and drama teacher, choreographer, and fitness instructor, Salma is also a multi-nominated and award-winning children's author. So very, very multi-talented lady. Let's get her on the couch. Hello, Salma. Welcome to On the Couch with Creative. Nice to see you.
Hello, Julie. Nice to see you too. Hello, Mel.
Hello.
Let's kick off. You're such a multi-talented woman. So let's kick off with the dancing, the Bollywood dancing. How did you start with that?
Well, thank you for that wonderful comment. I always had an interest in moving my body into different shapes as I was growing up. When I was about 8 years old, my mum bought me my first stereo. Well, it never left my sight. It was like my lifeline. It went everywhere where I went. And I remember when I was at school, and when I used to have homework, I used to have that playing in the background and whilst I was studying. But whilst I was at school, I was lucky enough that my school offered creative contemporary dance as an exam, and I took part. And I received a grade A within that. And I realized that I had potential in dancing and maybe looking at a career where I could actually become a dance teacher. So I think it started with my personal interest within the dancing world, and then it developed into doing an exam, and then going to college, then going to university, and then of course completing my teacher training in dance.
So when you say you have training and you have obviously diplomas and all sorts of things as a dance teacher, are you talking every kind of dance or specifically different, like Bollywood dancing, or can you also teach ballroom dancing? Do you specialize in one particular dance?
So yeah, that's a really good question actually, because I normally get referred to as the lady of many talents, which is really nice to hear actually. I'm mainly trained in creative contemporary dance, but I studied jazz, I studied tap, I did Bharatanatyam, which is a South Asian dance form that tells stories, the way we shape our bodies, the way we move, and the way we are connected to the ground. So I really, really enjoyed that. But my main study of area is creative contemporary dance, but I also teach Bollywood. Bollywood is something that I grew up with, along with Pakistani dance. I grew up with that. I used to watch the club dance from the Pakistani film industry from the 1960s. I used to watch and observe and learn the Bollywood disco from the 1980s. So I think although my main qualification is in creative contemporary dance, I do teach other dance forms because I know them so well. And I think when you're a versatile dance teacher or a creative practitioner, the name changes all the time within the showbiz world. If you are versatile, you can really other dance styles and teach them at high quality. So yeah, I sometimes teach creative contemporary, movement and dancing chairs. I do a bit of tap as well, South Asian dance. I do a bit of Bhangra, and recently, as part of the South Asian Heritage Month, I was teaching Bollywood disco. So my life is great.
That all sounds marvellous, Salma. And of course, we know now that there are many health benefits to dancing and movement too, don't we?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm currently working with older people, people with and without dementia, and people who are less active and who may have long-term and short-term health conditions. And the reason why I'm working with them, it's something what I do, but it is to try and get them moving more, for them to become more active so they can move their bodies, you know, whether it might be a little stretch, it might be something where they do something coming forwards, but it's all about mobilizing the joints so your muscles don't seize up. So many health benefits, especially for people that might be recovering from a stroke, or people that might have, you know, heart disease as well, and people with Parkinson's as well. But yeah, many health benefits. There's also the social benefit as well, you know, especially if you might be recovering, or you might recovering from an operation, or you might have a long-term or a short-term health condition. You might not want to venture out, you know, confidence might be low, but coming out dancing for fun, and you can have that laughter and you can have that banter with the person next to you who is also dancing along with you.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Let's talk about the Bollywood side of your career, because I saw a video once of you going to some sort of event and you were treated like a rock star because you've choreographed and danced with some of the greatest Bollywood stars, haven't you? Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, thank you. You're very kind, Julie. Yes, many years ago, the IFA Awards came to Yorkshire, the Indian Film Industry Awards, and we had the likes of Amitabh Bachchan, who's an A-star, Bollywood star. We had his wife, we had his son and his daughter-in-law, Aishwarya Rai, who does modelling for L'Oreal Paris. Oh, the whole shebang was here. It was just amazing. And of course, we had Vahida Rahman ji on a different occasion. And I was lucky enough to choreograph and perform for the IFA Awards, as well as part of that celebration with some of my dance studio students, but also to choreograph and perform for Vahida Rahman ji. Now, Vahida Rahman is an actress, Bollywood actress, who started her career many years ago in black and white films, and I grew up watching her films, and she was more of an icon of my father-in-law, more of an icon for my mother and that generation. But I got to see her, meet her, greet her, dance and perform, and I got compliments, personal compliments from her on my dancing skills, and she asked me to have a picture taken with her, which was amazing.
Oh, how lovely! How lovely! My mother knew a lady who went into sort of Bollywood film. She moved to Italy, and she's got a picture of her best friend with a very, very famous Bollywood star of the day, and I can't remember his name. Would you believe? But I'm going to dig the photograph out, and I will put it up. And if anyone can put in the comments, if you know who it is, put it in the comments right now. I'll put the picture up. That's a little piece of history, but I love
Bollywood stars are just so beautiful, such beautiful people.
Yeah, yes, they are. They do. Yeah, I think things are changing a little bit, which is really, really good, because I think everyone is beautiful in their own way. But I think with Bollywood film industry, they have, like, you've got to be absolutely stunningly gorgeous. You've got to have a certain amount of weight. You've got to look a certain way. And I think, you know, sometimes the real world is not like that. And it's about thinking out of the box. I mean, to be fair, they are thinking out of the box now more so. And they have, you know, real life like characters and some wheelchair users within the Bollywood films, which I think is great for inclusion and diversity. Moving onwards.
Yeah, I think it has to. The whole movie industry, it's not just Bollywood. Hollywood is the same. You know, for years and years and years, you know, women all had to, used to say, be a certain weight, look a certain way, a bit like Stepford Wives. You know, you see one Hollywood actress, you see the next 10 that come up because they're all blonde, blue-eyed, cheek bones like razors, you know, no waist.
Perfect white
teeth. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, talking about perfect white teeth, I remember when I was invited on Donny Osmond's show, I got a call from the TV studios, and it was a lovely lady, and she says, "Oh, Salma, would you like to appear on a show called Identity?" And I was extremely busy, and I remember driving to my next teaching school where I was teaching, and I said, "I'm really sorry, Zoe, but I really can't." I said, "It's just out of interest, who's presenting?" And she says, "Donny Osmond." And I said, "Oh my goodness, count me in."
Drop everything.
No one says no to Donny Osmond, do they really?
Nobody says no to Donny Osmond, and his teeth were just so amazingly white. But he was a beautiful person. He was lovely. It was really nice to meet him.
Yeah.
The other shows you've been on Coronation Street as well.
Yeah, so that was amazing too. We got a call looking for 4 Bollywood dancers. I went, and 3 of my wonderful students, and we choreographed certain elements of what we were doing, and we got to spend a day on the cobbly streets, and I touched the red letterbox as well as I was dancing away. I thought, right, I need to do that. And Dev, Jimmy Harkishni, who plays Dev, looked after us all day, and he was wonderful, super amazing. And we kept in contact for a number of years actually, and he actually came to my house as well, and then we went to my mother's for a meal, and he supported what I did around the South Asian dance world, and he came to our Bollywood Dance Championships. He was one of our obviously VIP guests. It was just super amazing. Yeah, wonderful.
But you're a woman of many, many talents. We've touched on this a little bit earlier. Not only are you a dancing superstar, you also are a multi-award winning children's author as well. Tell us about your books, Salma.
Oh, thank you, Mel. So along with my passion for dancing from an early age, when I was about 13, I thought, oh, I'd really like to write a book, because I loved reading. I just love reading. And I used to read a lot when I was younger. Obviously, I wasn't married, I didn't have kids, and I didn't have work commitments as I have now. So I used to read all the time, and I used to translate for my mother and say, "This is what they're saying now, this is what's happening." And she got really engrossed into the story. And I was reading Virginia Andrews' Flowers in the Attic at the time, and they've got a sequel, and I was not satisfied until I didn't read the whole sequel. But anyway, I used to love visiting my local library, just used to sit amongst the books. And I realized, just like I did with my dancing, that, I do like books, maybe I should do something. And then I published my first book, Bollywood Princess, which was a great success. And then I went with my next book about a little character called Aman, who has autism, and it's all about raising awareness to everybody, but mainly the South Asian community, that if your child has autism, let's celebrate that. It's nothing to worry about. It's nothing to be concerned about. You know, as long as you put all the right interventions in place to ensure, you know, your child is learning and developing as they should at their level, you know, just enjoy the beauty of it. You know, let's not worry, let's not panic. And I've had many conversations around that with many people, but in particular South Asian people, how it's a good thing and it needs to be celebrated. And then I did one called Greedy Gertie, which is about an animal that uses a wheelchair to get out and about. But again, my focus is looking at that in the way that that's positive. You know, Gertie, who is a cow, gets out and about. She's independent, she's strong, she doesn't need to rely on anybody. She's got her wheels, and that's all she needs. And then I wrote Sally and a Super Snot, which is a history-based book.
Sorry, it is disgusting. I know they like disgusting things. They like vomit and poo and fart. Ugh. Sally and her Super Snot is absolutely revolting, Salma. How on earth did you think of writing it?
Oh my gosh, just don't ask me, Julie. I don't even know. I was sat down and I thought, what can I write about next? And I thought, it's got to be about snot. But honestly, when you read the book, it's not actually as gross as that, but it's a really good creative learning tool for the children. It really promotes the past historical character. So if you study history at the time, which is obviously one of the subjects as part of the national curriculum, that book is a perfect fit. You'll learn about the cavemen, you'll learn about the Vikings, you'll learn about Tyrannosaurus Rex, you know, you learn about the Egyptian mummies and so on. But there's a story within that as well. It's all about snot.
Covers it all with snot. She covers all that stuff in the museum in her snot.
In her, and then the snot forms a magical strong swing, and it gets everybody out of danger. It's just crazy, but it's just super amazing. It's one of my best-selling books. I'll tell you which is my next best-selling book. If you think Sally is gross, Florence and her fantastic farts. Oh my goodness, that's just, you know, I've only got a handful left now, because every time when I do a signing in session or I'm working in a school, they just go there, whip, they've gone, and it's farts. And when I say to the children, which one would you like me to read? You have a choice. So we narrow it down, and then we have 2 left, and then we have 1 left. We know which one that is, the farty one. But the kids love it. And, you know, it's a sciencey book, a bit of chemistry in there. They learn about the environment, they learn about being green a little bit, and they learn about gases and how healthy it is, you know, that we do have to fart, as well as, you know, it's a bit of a taboo subject, and obviously ladies don't discuss that in public. But, you know, the amount of laughter and the banter that we have, those children are buzzing when they leave. And I think, oh, wow, job well done.
Oh, they do. Children do. They love it. And I think books like this are really good, because we there's a lot of pressure on children today to be grown up, to not say the wrong thing, to manage their emotions, and to basically behave better than most adults that I know. I mean, I've had a few run-ins with my son's school over precisely these issues. You know, my son is 9. He's not going to behave like a well-rounded 30 or 40-year-old. You know, and the workload is a lot higher in schools. You know, the work that my son's doing, I didn't have to do any of that kind of stuff when I was in primary school. And I'm really not surprised that so many children are having mental health issues. You know, when actually, you know, kids do just want to talk about snot and bums and poos and willies and get a bit silly.
Sorry, I never ever wanted to do that. I don't know what children you know.
They do. Boys do.
Boys.
Honestly, they love it when I get the whoopee cushion out and I put it down and they sit on it. Well, that's the best thing ever since sliced bread for these children.
Okay, I will admit to the whoopee cushion. We did think that's funny. I will admit to that one. Okay.
See.
You've come out with another one as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've got I've done my first colouring book as well, and then the other one is Simon and his Sneaky Sneeze. It's actually in the process. It should be launched soon. But my colouring book that you know, I worked with another fellow, award-winning author Tom Cragen, and together we created. It's my first one. He's done a few, but I haven't. It was a fantastic experience. But they've all gone as well, so they've been a great success, and it's focused on young girls. And you know, about their future aspirations, what it is they want to be when they grow up. And there's a lot of different career options within the book that they can colour, as well as having conversations with their parents, grandparents, families. It's just really about opening that door and instilling that seed at a young age, you know, what it is you want to be when you grow up, you know. I suppose the angle there for me was because when I was about 13, and I was younger than that when I was dancing, so I was very clear in my vision. But when I was 13, I was much clearer that I wanted to write a book and I wanted to become a dance teacher. So some children, and it's okay if you haven't got a clear vision, not everybody does, and that's fine. You will find your path as you're going along in your life journey. But because I was lucky enough to know that this is what I want to do, and I just went with it. And you know, it's really to support that thinking as well.
Yeah, And you touched on something earlier, which I think is really important when you were talking about your books and sort of outreaching to the community about issues like autism. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different people about geniuses who are in the creative industries. Now, a lot of them are typically neurodiverse. The more neurodiverse you are in the creative industries, the better you're going to get on, whether that is in engineering and science or whether that is within dance, drama.
Absolutely.
The creative brain is different. And if your child is different and is wanting to pursue a creative path, and again, that could be in dance, that could be in painting, art, it could be in engineering or science, because again, some autistic children are very, very good at the science and the maths, and they're very into those subjects. So it's definitely about educating parents as well of these types of children, that if they do go down the path of having a creative career, especially if it is within the arts of author or dance or fine art, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be penniless for the rest of their life, or it's a bad career choice. There are a lot of creatives who earn a lot of money. Disney needs artists to create their Disney movies. It's not all done by AI, not yet anyway. So I think that the fact that you're educating not just the children but the parents about these things is really, really important as well.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely not. I mean, I've made a successful career out of my books and my creative arts. I mean, teaching dance, teaching drama, and recitation of my books. It's my main job. It's what I do, and it pays the bills. It's keeping me going. I don't need to look for another job. So, I mean, one of my books, Help, I Can't Dance Without My Bhangra Pants. It's about to be kind to each other. It's about looking out for each other, being there for each other. About a little boy with autism, and it's also a good way of teaching parents, if you have got autism, it's not the end of the world. There's other things that your child can do as well. I mean, in the book, a man wants to dance and he finds it challenging because he keeps slipping and tripping, and then he finds a pair of magical Bhangra dance pants, and then of course he can Bhangra dance, which is a South Asian dance form as well. So the book promotes creative arts along with messages within that, and it raises awareness of autism as well. But obviously the moral of the story is that it wasn't his pants that were magical. It was a man himself, but he just needed to tune into his himself and realize that. And it is a really good way of showing families that it doesn't matter what kind of a disability you have, don't look at it as a disability, but look at it as an ability.
Yeah.
Don't focus on what your child can't do, but rather focus on what is it they can do. Celebrate that.
Absolutely. And we have quite a few members in creatives with various disabilities, and I'm telling you, they are the most able people I know. And Isaac Harvey, if he's watching this, he'll be laughing, but he tires me out. He tires me out. I can't watch his feed on LinkedIn. I have to go and lie down afterwards because he does such amazing things. And we've got some wonderful fashion designers, Kat Paler Bent, who is the owner of Seated Sewing, who makes custom made lovely clothes for people who are in wheelchairs or who are chronically ill and have to fit around feeding tubes and things like that. They are stunning, amazing, creative, wonderful people. And I think that you're absolutely right. Just because you might feel at first, if you've got a diagnosis of something that you're not expecting, oh my goodness, what do I do now? But if you embrace it and learn about it and all the things that you can do and all the things your child can be. I mean, I used to ice skate, and there was a club in Slough called Special People on Ice, and they did skating lessons for people for any disability. They had blind children, they had children with cerebral palsy, they had children with Down syndrome, all sorts of it, people that you would never think you'd put on an ice rink, okay? But you should have seen these children and the joy on their faces going, because I mean, I love ice. As soon as I step on the ice, I'm free. That's it. That's my thing. And to see these children feeling and experiencing that on the ice, I was there to do an interview with the guy that runs it, a radio interview, and I was in tears because the pure joy on their faces, it was contagious. I was in tears, but in a good way, because I'm thinking, wow, look at these children, their parents. It was wonderful to see their parents realizing what their children could do, you know.
Wow.
And children they can do so much more than you ever believe if you give them the chance.
You just need to.
This takes us to, sorry to interrupt you, but this takes us to what you did this last summer, because you do so much, and you have been doing so much with children around the UK.
Yeah, oh my gosh, what an amazing experience. Well, I did a couple of workshops in London libraries, and then I ended up working in a private school in London, not far from Windsor Castle. I was just super amazing. And then I was doing the Ready, Set, Read program by the reading agency. They're based in London. And I was literally working every single day. It was the most wonderful experience of my life, but there was a lot of backwards and forwards traveling involved. But yeah, from London to Wigan to Leeds to Liverpool to Manchester to all over the place. There was just
Wales. You went to Wales as well.
I went to Wales as well. Yeah, I did 4 days in Wales. So we did creative movement and dance with recitation and some activities based around the themes of my books. And Wales was fantastic because we said we could have about 25 people, and we had 25 people in each session. They really embraced the creative arts, really. They really did, because they were there. The parents joined in, the children joined in. It was a lovely, beautiful experience. But yeah, but prior to that, I did quite a lot of work with Libraries Connected, where I, as part of the Rugby League World Cup, and I did 21 days, I think it was, where I travelled again up and down the country, and I performed the haka as a pre-celebration of the Rugby League World Cup alongside Bollywood dance, and that was just amazing. It just went down so well. That was enjoyed by us all, and I loved it. Now I love doing the haka. It's just the best thing ever. I have to do it now and then.
Love it. I love it. So Salma, what would your top 3 tips be for somebody either wanting to become a dance teacher or a children's author, or in fact maybe even just somebody who maybe doesn't know their direction yet, but just knows they want to do something creative, a creative career? Do you have top tips? What do you wish you had known when you were starting out?
Oh, I think the biggest one would be, for me, would be, no matter how many doors close, don't let that put you off. Don't give up. Keep going. Believe in yourself. I think that's what, when I was like, you know, when I wanted my books published and the doors were closing, I didn't give up. I was more determined, actually, and I thought, I will get these books published one way or the other. They are going to be published, and I will be doing what I love to do. So yeah, don't give up. You know, if publishers aren't interested in your book, don't let that put you off. Just go for it. As long as you believe in your story and you believe in yourself, that's the main thing.
Yeah, I love that. And do you know what? Publishers, I'm actually wonder how they survive, because they turn down so much stuff. It's like, Absolutely. How can you even be in business anymore? Because 90% of the stuff that comes through your door, oh, don't do that. I don't do that genre. Oh, we don't do it. And no one's interested in that. Oh, don't want to know that. It's like, well, how are you even in business? I'm stunned, because there's a lot of new talent there, and there's a lot of new stuff I'd like to. People, find a small publisher or self-publish, or just get your stuff out there, definitely.
And what about dancing, Salma? Do you have any top tips for aspiring dancers?
Oh, yes. I think if you want to be a really good dancer, hard work. You have to work hard. I mean, when I was at university, we used to be in the dance studio from 8 o'clock. We used to have our lectures, which contributed with some theory, but it's mainly practical. So we used to do that till 6 o'clock. And when we used to finish, have something to eat, and then we used to practice for our performances. So hard work, dedication, and commitment. Because trust me, when you are moving and you're trying to do, choreograph or learn someone else's choreography, you've got to get the timing right, you've got to get the beats right, other dancers will be relying on you, so you've got to make sure you're there for them when they need you. There might be a lift involved, there might be a sudden sharp movement, and someone might be relying on that. So it's a lot of commitment, it's a lot of dedication, and it is a lot of hard work, but don't stumble. Keep at it.
Yeah. A dancer's life is not an easy road, is it?
No, it's not.
Most dancers do it for the passion, for the love.
I was just going to say that. I mean, I love dancing, and yeah, I do it for passion, but it's my job. But if you love to move and you love dancing, I think you've cracked it. Yeah, you'll see it through.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we're at that point in our show. One of my favourite bits. I'm going to get my cards out. My cards.
He's looking very suspiciously at these cards. These are the value jam cards, Salma. And you are going to pick a card, and you're going to talk about the value, what it means to you. There's no right or wrong answer here.
Okay.
Just spew out whatever comes. I'm sorry, I'm being distracted because I was going to say just spew out, and then I remembered your children's books with all the snot and the fart and the vomit and the...
Yeah. How much vomit can you weave into your answer, Salma? No, okay. Right. So I'm going to run my finger along the cards, and then you just shout stop.
Stop.
Stop. Right. What did you pick? We're creatives. We'll be asking you creatively some creative questions about what is on this card. You picked. Ooh. You picked innovation.
Oh,
exactly. Oh, our guests picked brilliant cards.
That is just so me. That is so strange that I picked that, because I always say it's about innovation. I mean, I like to create something out of nothing, have that little seed in there and then develop it from there and just watch it grow into beautiful things like my books, my dancing, books about autism. I've got Greedy Gertie in Braille. I've got an audio CD as well. So yeah, innovation, that's one of my words.
Yeah, fantastic. What does it feel like, do you think?
Oh, it feels really refreshing, really refreshing, to know that, I mean, all books are wonderful. I love books. I've always had a love for books. But when you can pick a book and read it, but also you can pick the same book in Braille, but then you can pick that same book in Braille, but in an audio CD, translated in different methods, for children that might have a hearing impairment or a visual impairment, that feels quite innovative. That feels really refreshing. Like if I've done something really, really good. Feels amazing, actually.
What does it sound like?
Freedom for the children. Yeah. Different ways of communicating, as part of their communicative strategies. They might listen to the audio CD, they might read in Braille, or they might just pick up your traditional book and read it traditionally. There's different ways. So yeah, freedom for that person that needs it.
What does it smell like?
Fresh.
Not snot.
New. No, not snot. New and fresh.
Oh, I love it.
It's been an absolute joy talking to you on the couch. We really appreciate you joining us, and we've had a few good laughs, that's for sure. How do people get hold of you if they want to? How do they get hold of your books?
Yeah, so I'm all over social media, just like you wonderful ladies are as well. So if you just type my name on Google, SALMA ZAMAN, all my details do come up. I do have a website, www.salmasbollywoodacademy.com. So yeah, it's just a case of typing my name in Google. All my information is on there. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Insta, and of course I'm on LinkedIn as well.
And all your books are available on Amazon, and also in bookstores, or just online?
Okay, so there's a couple of books that do store my books, but they're up and down the country, so I don't personally know where they are. But you can get the books from Amazon, and you can, of course, contact me as well.
Fabulous. And all those details have been going across the bottom of the screen as we speak, and they'll be in the show notes as well. So don't worry, if we want to reach out to Salma, all her details will be there. But that's it. That's all we have time for today. So thank you so much, Salma, for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us today. Thank you to my co-host, Julie. And thank you to all of you, our lovely viewers, for tuning in and watching the show today. But until next time, we'll see you